1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
I do not want children. I said, what if you change your mind in the future, and think, well, now I do want children, maybe when I got married. She said, it'll never happen to me. It would never. She seems so determined not to have children. But that's just one aspect of it, isn't it? Now, when we then talk about other people not wanting to have children, there could be millions, there could be variety of reasons why people choose not to have children. Some people perhaps not of their own choosing. Some people have left it too late and then they find out they can't actually have children. If you was to advise anyone, any family member that was contemplating, whether to have children or not, what would your advice be? What would you advise?
That's a very big question, isn't it? I think there's sort of an assumption, first of all, that everybody does or should want to have children. And I think that's the first big mistake we all may make, because there are people who quite legitimately, for their own reasons, sometimes, well, always very good reasons, I guess, will say they do not want children. And I think it's a bit like in life generally, some people, some jobs, if you like, some careers surprise me. I think, why on earth would somebody want to do that? For example, I've got nothing but admiration for people who join the Navy and the submarine service. Now, I've always known you wouldn't get me on a submarine for love nor money. Even when I was a year ago in Las Vegas, we went on an aircraft carrier to look around, and it was quite an experience. And alongside that, there was one of their former military submarines, which you could actually go in. It was very long, and it, just obviously a submarine there in dry dock, so it wasn't under the water. But I reflected, and I thought, despite others in our party going in there, I wouldn't, because I've always been a bit claustrophobic, but I just didn't really want to go and submit myself, and especially as there's quite a long line of people waiting. So you could go into this, and it probably take the walk through it, probably while they describe things, was, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And you're in a situation where you've got people queued up behind you, people in front. So you're a little bit trapped, which in itself is not, it's not the end of the world. But I just chose not to do that. But I often think that good people to go on these submarines to patrol the seas and whatever they do. But I think who would suddenly decide, I want to go and live 3 or 6 months at a time under the sea, because you're inevitably in very cramped conditions. You can't see out, you've got no windows to see the fish or the whales or anything else, so you're in this little contained world. They have the mess, as they call it, the social bit where they will play games in their social time. They have tiny bunks by all accounts. So I think, why would anybody do that? And actually, if you then think about other careers that people undertake, the same things can apply. Someone who would be a steeplejack, great heights and things like that. People who clean windows of the great skyscrapers on the sort of crane things that come down. And I could go on coming up with things, and I always think, how can people want that? But actually, the reality of the human condition, I think, is that we're all born with our genetic inheritance and with our environment and everything that goes with that. And the magic, if you like, of evolution is that it does produce the whole range.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang. With fun.
It does produce the whole range of people needed for their society or societies. There will be people who say, I want to be a doctor, I want to fly an aeroplane, I want to do this, I want to, all sorts of things, you know, all sorts of ambitions that people have. And I think the point is we somehow know in we're not always right in ourselves. We don't always maintain a view. We have 1 year, 1 day to say a year's time. People change their minds, but there are things which most of us say, I wouldn't do that, or I would love to do that. And I bring into that the whole question of wanting children. I mean, I know a couple, probably 2 or 3 couples, but who don't have children, who said right from the outset in their marriage, they're not going to have children. They just did not want to do that. People have different views. I mean, you could argue today, in today's world, with the atrocities that go on, and we think of Ukraine and Russia and the Middle East and all that goes on, you can understand some people starting out their life together saying, do we really want to bring children into this world? I mean, it's one thing, you know, for those of us who've been here at all ages, really, and life is pretty good in so many ways. Life is magical in so many ways. But there are negatives in the world, and some people would say, well, yeah, if the global warming, if climate change is a real feature, is that going to impact societies? As well as overcrowding, is the world becoming too overcrowded? So a lot of people would look at it from their possible children's point of view and say, do I really want to bring them into a world that is in all sorts of problems? So people can have their own reasons, or just simply that they don't want to have children. And I find it quite interesting, without giving away my 2 beautiful granddaughters, Kimberly and Lucy's private lives or thoughts. In general terms, they've both made it known that, I mean, Kimberly would like 3 or 4 kids. Lucy doesn't want kids. She wants dogs, and she had, you know, she's at uni, but she's always been quite adamant. She wants 2 or 3 dogs and a few cats as well. She loves animals, but she doesn't want children. I've sometimes said to her, well, you might change your mind. I mean, she's quite close with her boyfriend at the moment, and you never know where that may go in the future, but she's quite adamant she doesn't want children. And I actually, knowing Lucy as I do, I think she's likely to stick to that, which is perfectly her decision, and her partner as well. No doubt they would liaise about that, whoever that turns out to be. So, yeah, my advice to people, I've not really answered that question. If it was my own personal advice, I think there's nothing more beautiful than 2 people creating a child.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.